Hello and welcome to episode 85 of the Stress Knits podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarns on Instagram, Stress Knits on Ravelry. That's just me. So, hi, how are you doing? It is May 23rd, 2019. This is take 2 because Esther just wanted to go outside. So, I just let her out. She's gonna be great. Eliza's sleeping. Esther is my pug puppy. Who's about to be 2. Eliza is my daughter who is about to be 1. And my husband Doug is working. So, I'm coming to you from the most humid Metro Detroit, Michigan. My hair is in a braid to control it because it was like out here today. And sometimes that can be cute, but on me it just looks like a triangle head and it's just not cute. So I spare you of that. I am drinking my cold brew. I should have freshened up before I started recording, but that's okay. And a few people have asked, so I'm just going to go over really quickly how I make my cold brew. So I buy a pound of coffee from Starbucks. I like the breakfast blend. You can also buy it in stores. It's perfectly fine. I buy whole bean because we have a coffee grinder, but you can get it ground at a Starbucks store. I would do it for like French press, in case you're wondering. I like it, it's just easier when it's coarse rather than fine. So I do that. So I get breakfast blend, I grind up the entire bag, and then I put it in one of these reusable bags. So I was trying to figure out the best way to do this, and I just looked up on Amazon reusable cold brew bags. And this is what came up. I've used this one a few times, that's why it's all coffee stained. But it came in like a pack of 2 for like $5 or something like that. So I put the whole bag of ground coffee in here. I cinch it up and I put it in a giant jug. I don't know what to call it, but it's like one of those little things with like the spout. Like you'd put lemonade or sangria in. And yeah, so I just let it sit. Only use cold water. I let it sit for 24 hours and I take the bag out, and you can use the coffee grounds in your garden. You can use them for like a scrub, or you can just put them in your compost and it's good to go. So that's what I do. And then for flavoring and stuff, I literally go to Starbucks and I buy the liter of vanilla syrup. All you have to do is go up to the counter and ask to buy, you can buy any of the core ones. You can't buy seasonal, so like you can't buy pumpkin spice or like caramel brulee or anything like that. You can only buy like vanilla, caramel, toffee nut, hazelnut, those ones. So classic. You can buy those flavors, and it's like $12, and then you just buy a sometimes they'll give you one, but if they don't, you just go to Amazon and type in Starbucks syrup pump, and then that, and it's the same amount of pumps, if you know. For a full mason jar I do like 1.5, but I don't like too much in my coffee, so it's perfect. And then just a little bit of half and half for milk, and then I'm good. And that's how I make my cold brew. And it's so good, and it tastes very similarly to the Starbucks cold brew, in case you're wondering. So that's that. I have a bunch of stuff to talk to you about today. Some knitting, lots of yarn, lots of samples. I want to just go over color combinations and stuff like that, stuff in the shop. So that'll be at the very end. I have 3 amazing sweaters that I am so excited to talk to you about, and some acquisitions, which is shocking because I don't buy yarn much right now, because I have some trips coming up, which we'll also talk about. So first things first, I am knitting my no frills sweater. This is the one that's gotten the least amount of work. I'm still on the increases for the raglan. Here it is. But I finished the short rows and all that jazz, so excuse me. So it's kind of hard to show, but it's still on a 16-inch circular because it's just easier that way. And it'll probably be that way for a bit, probably until I'm done with the increases, and then I'll put it on like a 32. yeah, so that's really nothing to write home about yet, but this is the No Frills sweater by PetiteKnit. I'm knitting the large, even though it's going to make it closer to an extra large because of my gauge. Because I gauge swatched for this and it was fun. So yeah, this is the Sweet Disposition colorway. I love it. It's my favorite colorway. So here it is in the cake. This is my singles base, and then I'm also using my cloud base, which is a Surrey alpaca silk blend. It's very comparable to mohair. I think it's softer. So if you have an aversion to mohair, I highly recommend a Surrey base. A lot more indie dyers are carrying this now. So pick it up for your favorite indie dyer, even though I'd prefer if it was me. Shameless plug. Okay. But there's that. So I love this. It just feels like velvet. That's what this feels like, and I'm so happy with it, and I can't wait to spend more time with it. I want to finish one of the other sweaters on my needles, though, because I'm very, very close to both of them. So, the one that got the most work on during my road trip with my husband and my daughter to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, we were in Houghton, and if you know where Houghton is, it's basically one of the, okay, so if this is Michigan, it's like up here on Lake Superior. So Portage Lake into Lake Superior, but it was a 9-hour drive. It's very long. So I got to knit a lot, and you haven't seen this yet. I was about to cast it on. I hadn't yet. So this has only been on the needles for a little bit. It's my Weekender. This is the Weekender sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is knit out of Stress Knits yarn in the Lake Effect colorway. I did helical knitting. Yeah. To alternate skeins, and it's great. You can look up helical knitting, find some tutorials. I linked it in the last episode if you're curious. But yes, it's the size medium. Yeah. This is my second Weekender, and there are some mistakes in here. So my count was off. I don't know how it got off. I counted a bunch of times and the numbers always added up. So I don't know what I did. I can't find any drop stitches. I can't figure out what I did, but I'm just going with it because it's okay. So there are some stitches in here that like don't line up. I don't even know if you can tell. There it is. There's some stitches back here that don't really line up. Some stitches over here that don't really line up, but you can't see it. So that's okay, right? It's fine, but I'm on sleeves. I just did like maybe 1 or 2 rows of the first sleeve, and then I have the second sleeve, and then I'm done. I have a bunch of ends to weave in. I have this weird little thing that happened while I was Kitchenering, and I don't know what it is. I just don't know. So I'm going to tack it down, and luckily this is the back of the sweater, so nobody's gonna really see it or pay attention to it. But I knit this for a sample for the Super Summer Knit Together, which is an event that I'm vending at in Nashville, Tennessee. I just realized that huge bump of hair. Okay. It's a knitting event in Nashville, Tennessee, hosted by the Knit Girls, who are Leslie and Laura. They host a wonderful podcast. Highly recommend it. Super excited to meet them and everybody else that's going. It's my first time vending a show, so I'm very, very excited. Yeah, so I'm trying to get all of the sample knits done. That's why all of my projects are in Stress Knits yarns right now, because I just need all the samples. But yeah, I love it. It's just such a good sweater. This is not going to be my last one. Probably gonna take a break until maybe the winter, and then I really want to knit one. I don't know, maybe in Brooklyn Tweed. I don't know, maybe another one Stress. I just don't know. I love it so much though. So, Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Stress Knits yarn worsted in the Lake Effect colorway, and that is very true to color. It's a very grubby, grungy mint. It's the best way that I can describe it. The sun just came out, so I look very pink, and we're just gonna go with it because I don't have a lot of time to do this. So that is the Weekender sweater. I love it. I love it so much. It's great. So hopefully that'll be done maybe next time. But there's another sweater that's kind of stolen my heart since I made some decisions about it. So you saw this last week. It is my Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter, and I'm in love. I'm so in love with this. So I think Eliza's waking up. I think she should be getting. We'll see. Yeah. Sorry about like the shadows. The sun just came out and it wasn't going. I don't know what's happening. Our weather's really weird right now. It's storming all morning, and then it's so humid and hot in the afternoon. And it's been like the past 3 days. It's been awful. I hate this weather so much. I'm also trying not to put on the air conditioner yet. So it's just a lot of humidity. It's so gross. Okay, so Nordiska. I hadn't joined in the round yet. I was still working on the V-neck and all the raglan shaping, but I separated for the sleeves right before we left for our trip. And so the pattern, it's a cropped sweater. It's supposed to be cropped. And you're only supposed to knit an inch past the armholes before you start the color work, and the color work only adds about 5.5 inches to the body. So I was looking at it at an inch, and I was like, I was taking my tape measure and like seeing where like the 6.5 inches would hit me, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'd wear the sweater a lot with dresses. I think I will, but I don't know if I want it to be that cropped. So I was thinking about that, and I was also like, do I want to do the color work? Do I not? And then I watched my friend Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, and she just did one last week. And she showed off her Nordiska, and she did just 2 colors in the color work instead of the 3 that it calls for. And I was like, I have to now. It's such a beautiful chart. And I was kind of craving color work. I had a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth from another Caitlin Hunter pattern that I did, which is my Tecumseh, which I'll show you in a little bit. Because I had never done color work before. I didn't understand the going up in needle size. I didn't understand gauge and color work. I also was just super tight. It was also during when I was like pumping a lot for Eliza, and I was doing all this pumping, and I was in a lot of pain, and it was just like, it was just a bad time to do that. So I took my time. I went up a needle size. So I knit the body on a size 5, US size 5, and then I knit the color work on a US 6, and I'm almost done with the color work. I will probably finish it this afternoon. I'm so excited about this sweater. Here's my Nordiska. I can't wait for Doug to take glamour pictures of it tomorrow so I can post it everywhere. That's why I'm hoping to get the body done today, so that he can just take really pretty pictures of it. The shadow is bothering me, but this is very true to color. The top main color is Prudence, and the contrast color is Dahlia. So I love this. I love this so much. It's very true to color, even though the lighting's kind of weird. It's very true to color, and it's making my gray wall look green. But I love this sweater so much. I'm knitting the extra large. I'm a tight knitter compared to Caitlin Hunter, so I always, since I got burned on the Tecumseh, I do a size larger than I would normally. So I would have knit the large based on the bust measurements, but I wanted this to fit, so I went with the extra large. I'm using my favorite base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, high twist yarn. I called it my favorite because I loved it for socks versus the 75/25, but I think it's such an amazing garment yarn. I foresee a few more sweaters, many more sweaters in this yarn. So I highly recommend. It's like my go-to base. But again, did helical knitting. I love how this all came out. I'm just really happy with it. Here's the back. Yeah, so almost done with the color work. I think I have like 10 more rows, but I did the bulk of it yesterday, and I love it so much. Yes, so this is my Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter, and I could not love it more. It's just so good. Here is Prudence in the cake. It's pretty color accurate, and then here is Dahlia in the cake, which is very color accurate. Yes, so that is what I'm knitting on. I'm obsessed. I can't stop knitting on it. So yeah, that's basically all the knitting. I bought a few things and they came in. I've been trying to restrain myself on yarn purchases this year because I am going to Nashville in July, and then I'm like 99% going to Rhinebeck in October. So I've been trying to curb my spending habits because I know I have big trips coming up and I'd rather save for just the trip itself. Not even buying things, but just going. So yeah, but I haven't bought much lately. So I treated myself to some stuff. Some stuff was for Mother's Day. Other stuff was just because. So the first thing I bought was a pleister bag. So I've wanted the project bag. I have the project pouch that they do. That was my first one. I have that in dusty pink, and then when she came out with the redwood colorway, I was really obsessed with it, so I just went with it. And this has honestly been my purse since I got it last week. So I think it's amazing. This is where I put my wallet, and then I just I have like my notebook in here. I have a few pens, Eliza's water cup, like stuff like that in here. And then I put my project in it and I just walk around and knit. So I am really, really enjoying this. I do think I want one more. I'm not gonna get the backpack yet. I'm planning on getting a backpack at some point, but I just don't have a need for it at the moment. But this bag is great. I think I wanna get the teal one next time, but like matches my headband. It's my color. I love this color. So it's huge. I can fit my sweater in it, and it's an extra large sweater. So, and there's still room to put more stuff in it. So I highly recommend it. Pleister bag. This is the Knitter's project bag. And I just got the shoulder bag, not the crossbody one, but it's perfect. Yeah, so highly recommend this. And then we all know I have a love affair with spin cycle yarn, right? If you're new, I have a love affair with spin cycle yarn. It's that yarn that I can't resist. It's just so different from anything that I make myself, and I don't hand spin, and this is really like the closest I can get to that because, yeah, I never make updates for other people who spin yarn, and I just love the consistency and I love the colors of this so much. So I am planning to do a Shifty sweater by Andrea Mowry, which takes a lot of spin cycle yarn, and spin cycle is not cheap. So I'm starting to just piecemeal buy things. So I'll buy a skein from one shop, occasionally another skein from another shop. And then she teased her new challenge like a week or two ago, and I was like, I need to buy yarn to do. I thought it was going to be the Ghost Ranch hat, and I was partially right, so I bought yarn for the Ghost Ranch hat, but I think I'm going to do her new Shifty hat. So let's chat first. I bought two skeins for my Shifty sweater, and I'm just going to slowly accumulate it. So one of them that I bought is Dead Reckoning, which is one of my favorites. It has mints and purples, and I love Dead Reckoning. It's a really good colorway. So Dead Reckoning, this is all dyed in the wool, except for one. So Dead Reckoning, and then Grumpy Birds, which I've wanted for a while. It's gray, mint, and yellow, which you can't go wrong. That's true to color. Yeah, Spin Cycle yarns, Grumpy Bird, and Dead Reckoning. These will be going into my Shifty sweater, which, I mean, I probably won't knit until like this time next year because it's going to take a long time to get enough yarn for this sweater. And so for my hat, for the knit along, if you are not aware, okay, so this is actually kind of a funny story. Last year, around this time, my water broke. And Andrea Mowry was doing a 4-day knit along for her new Harlow hat. And I was so jealous because I had all of this time. I was sitting in a hospital, nothing else to do, because they were trying to prevent labor. So I was literally just like bed rest, bedridden, couldn't walk, had to be in a wheelchair if I was going anywhere, stuck in a hospital. So I had a lot of knitting time. And she did this thing, and I was like, I could have totally knit the hat in 4 days because I have nothing else better to do. And I was just so mad, and I was like, hopefully she'll do another one. And she did the fluorite socks over Thanksgiving, but I'm just not into socks right now. So I was like, well, maybe she'll do it for Memorial Day, and she is. So I bought a skein of not dye in the wool, of Versus, which is technically a DK weight, but it's very similar to dyed in the wool. And I got the Slow and Steady, which is a gray and white marl. And then to go with that, I got the Wildflower dyed in the wool. So this will be my Shifty hat, and I am very excited about it. I might change my mind to do Ghost Ranch, but I really think I want a Shifty hat. So it's perfect because I needed to knit or cast on 2 projects in May because I missed April for my Year of Andrea, and actually her knit along for the Harlow hat last year, her 4-day knit along, is what inspired me to do my Year of Andrea. So it's very full circle, feels very woo-woo, but I love it. So this is going to be my 4-day challenge hat. So hopefully I'll have a finished object for you next week. And that's all I bought. I mean, it's a lot, and that will not happen very often. So there is that. And now I'm going to move on to Stress Knits stuff. So first I'm going to show you some finished objects that a sample knitter knit for me. So the one that I knew about, I keep forgetting to look up how to pronounce this name, but it is a cowl from Amarisu. I think it's like issue 1 or 2, I'm not sure, but it's an Andrea Mowry cowl. And here it is. So it's huge. It's a very large cowl. I love it. I'm gonna put it on because I can. I'm gonna wear this so much in the fall. Bobby pin went through. Okay, so this is the cowl. It's like the Ryusa cowl, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not sure, but it's gorgeous. So my friend Beth knit this for me, and it's funny because I have a real life, like I've known her since middle school, best friend, stood up at my wedding, Beth. And then I have this Beth who knit this. So she used 3 colors. It's Palm Lines is the pink, Golden Hour is the yellow, and Betty is the blue and the baubles. So I love this. It took 4 skeins of my DK weight yarn, and then she had a lot of extra Betty on my DK weight base, so she decided to surprise me and knit me a Roebling hat, which is a pattern by my friend Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk. And I wanted to knit one for a long time, I just couldn't decide on a color, and I still think I'm gonna knit one, but I'm just not sure. But this is what she did. So she did DK weight, and I think she did these smaller version, and it fits really well. I think it's perfect. Just this beautiful cable pattern. Jacqueline is super talented, and I am so appreciative of Beth for surprising me with this. So thank you, Beth. You're amazing. So excited to have this. And Betty's just such a good color. It's like a blue. So there is that. And then I just wanted to talk about color combinations, show you some of my samples, so if you're interested. So obviously I think Golden Hour, Palm Lines, and Betty makes a great 3-color option. This could be a great Maritimo, this could be a great Novelli tea, any 3-color anything. I think this would be great. It could be a great Golden Hour shawl if you want to do it in worsted, so that would be great. And all of these colorways are in the shop right now for pre-order, so if you want anything, this is the best time to get it, because I'm going to take a really long break from large updates and custom orders. I won't be doing custom orders for like the next 2 months, so if you want something, this is the time to go for it. I showed you this last time. This is my Soldotna that was sample knit for me, and this was sample knit in Etching, which is the dark gray. The mint green is, why is this up? I need to get going. Pillow Mint, My Jam, and Birch. So I have kits for these in the shop. You'll see a picture of this against this wall, and yeah, you can order your size. So that is available. And if you want something in Etching, I don't currently have it because I wasn't dyeing it for a long time, but I fell back in love with it with this top. And so if you want a custom order, you have like a week left to custom order things. So just shoot me a quick email, stressknitsyarn@gmail.com, or through the website, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So yes, Soldotna is really great. It's on my DK weight base, which is 100% superwash merino, 115 grams, so you get 250 yards. It goes a really long way, which is nice. This is my Birds of a Feather in my Succulents colorway, using my singles and Halo base, which is my, I'm so stuffy, okay, which is my mohair. So there's that. It's just this really pretty spring green mint. It's a little brighter in person, but this is that. I always have pre-orders up for a What the Fade in my original colors. This is on my singles base, but you can get it in single, in squishy, which I don't offer much anymore because it's a very expensive base. It's gone up a lot, and it makes me uncomfortable. Like, the price kind of makes me uncomfortable that I have to sell it for. So, but it is available because I think it'd be great in the shell and also sparkle. So here is my What the Fade. It's my favorite thing that I've ever made. Yeah. So What the Fade, that's My Jam, Sweet Disposition, I Smell Snow, Birch, Bell Jar, Pillow Mint. There's that. I have my Madewell in Rattle, which is on my squishy base. This is something you could totally custom order. I alternated skeins. It's, again, one of my favorite colorways. This is the Madewell by Hopi Locatelli. I also have all of the colorways that I used in my Comfort Fade in the shop, and some people have actually custom ordered exact ones, which made me so happy. Or just ordered it because it's on the website. I've worn this a few times. It's so cozy, but I used Birch, I Smell Snow, Grubby, and Prudence. It's just a really great sweater. And then my Tecumseh, which is Birch is the main color, My Jam is the shield, and Golden Hour are the crosses. So that's it. Again, the color work is very tight. I knit this when I was very stressed out. So what I think I'm going to do is I've seen a few of these. So I think I'm going to rip out the sleeve because the sleeve is just so, the color work is just so tight, and I don't think blocking again would help. It's just really tight. So I think if it's really bothering me before I go to SSK, I might just rip this out and then knit like a quick ribbing and make it short sleeve. But yeah, Tecumseh, I think it's a great color combination. Yeah, so there's that. I am planning a Novelli tee by Caitlin Hunter. It's her new one. I just really love the shape and like the drop shoulder and all of that. So what I'm going to be using is, I'm just going to do 2 colors again, and I'm going to use the etching colorway, which is that dark gray, along with Grubby. That's not Grubby, that's Twilight. Grubby, which is, do I have a skein in here? I think I might have forgotten to grab it. Yeah, I don't see it. But Grubby is this colorway. So I'm going to do it in this color along with etching as the contrast. So that's going to be really great. My Prudence and Dahlia combination is one of my favorites. If you're more of a blues kind of person, doing, where is it? I should be way more organized than this, but I'm not, so just bear with me. Okay. 3 colors if you're more of a green or blue person. I think this would be a great Novelli, which is Perfectly Adequate, Pillow Mint, and Siren. I think these would be great together. That's not Pillow Mint, that's Betty. Pillow Mint is here, which would also work. Or if you want 4 colors, here. So these would be great. I have all of my tweeds. I'm going to be casting on a Boxy by Joji Locatelli in this, which is Palm Lines on my Tweedy base. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of great cloud colorways on cloud. This is Dahlia, this is Siren. That's fun. I Smell Snow is one of like my most popular colorways, and it on mohair is just stunning. Somebody just bought a bunch of it on mohair to make a no frills, and I'm so excited to see how that works up. Sweet Disposition is a ride or die colorway as well. Succulents, I don't know what my hair is doing. It's really humid and hot in here. Eliza is also a really great colorway. And I really love Eliza. This was a contender for my Novelli tee, but my husband pointed out, not Novelli, Maritimo, because I also want to knit one of those. My husband pointed out I would just never wear this because it's really not my color scheme, but I think this could work for you if it is your color scheme. Yeah, so that is Siren, Pillow Mint, and Eliza together. I just think it's such a gorgeous combination, and you could also even throw in Dahlia for a 4 color. I think this would be just absolutely gorgeous of a combination. Highly recommend that. And also one of my colorways that I love that isn't a neutral but can pass as a neutral is my Below My Feet colorway, which is based on the Mumford & Sons song. Here it is. There's a lot of green in it. That's a green and pink. And I think this would be really, really pretty for the feather and fan on the Maritimo. So there's that. But yeah, so I'm just really excited for all the colorways. I'm excited to see what you guys are using. And I just want to remind you that this is the best time to purchase large quantities, because I'm not going to be dyeing large quantities for the shop until after SSK, so not until August. So it's a long time for no custom orders, and yeah, so I just really want you to get your Stress Knits yarn if you want it. And yeah, so just thank you so much to all of you who've ordered already. It really helps my family out. It is my form of income. So just thank you. It means so much to us that we're able to pay bills. It's really great. While I can also stay home with my daughter. So that's a lot of fun. I'm dyeing more yarn today and tomorrow, and then we have a wedding on Saturday, so I'll be doing that. I'll be casting on for my 4-day cowl for Andrea Mowry. I'm hoping to show you my novelli, at least the body of it, next week. And then for Patreon, so it's been a little neglected because we've been passing around colds and all of that, and Eliza's teething. So, alongside the giveaways that happen every few months, one is coming up in July, is the next big giveaway. I'm trying something new, so it's going to be called the Whip Down. Just so corny, but I love it. And I'm going to talk in depth about a whip or two and just really talk to you about why I chose colors and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a more extensive discussion about the pattern and all that kind of stuff. So you'll find that on Patreon. If you're interested, just follow the link below. There's a lot of information there for you. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk to you about. I feel like that was a lot more than I was expecting. But I'm going to get back to knitting my Nordiska, and I'm really excited about it. So I will talk to you next week, and yeah, have a good week. Bye.